Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to another Friday.
Yes, we've made it through the week.
Yes,
we have.
All right,
so we're talking about importance of family relationships. A celebration.
No, it's not a celebration. It's a belabration, right? Honoring the legendary and the legacy of Nelson Caver Jr. And we'll be right back after this.
Welcome to Loving Beyond the I Do podcast. This power couple is building stronger marriages one day at a time. Talking about real issues on love, relationships, and marriage longevity. Let's break down the barriers and engage in healthy conversation with your hosts, Jason and Tina Marie. Take a seat and buckle up because things are about to get real.
Welcome to Loving Beyond the I...
Mic is muted. Unmute.
You're looking at the wrong thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just want to make sure. We
Welcome
can
to
be
Loving
heard.
Beyond the I Do live podcast with your host, Jason, along with my beautiful wife, Tina Marie. We are
That's me.
so happy that you guys are here.
Yes. So tonight we're talking about, as we said before, relationships, family relationships. That's what our channel is about, all type of relationships. So you, let me read my stuff. We are also the host and producers of Loving Beyond the I Do podcast, as well as Legendary Relationship. Right? So you make sure that you will always find us and tune us in. Jason, tell them where they can find us.
Well, on social media, you can find us at Legendary Relationship everywhere. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Everywhere you can be in social media, we are, and we are Legendary Relationship. Or you can go to our website, legendaryrelationship.com, and then you can get everything there.
All right. So we know that relationships require work, intentionality.
Yes.
They require us to be aware of the things that do not work in our lives and in our relationships, and then to move forward into changing them and becoming aware to create relationships that work not only in our family dynamics, but throughout our whole relationships. Because as we said, you have a relationship with your boss, you have a relationship with your coworkers, you have relationships with the people at the store, whether you realize it or not. So we have to remember that relationships require work. And once we get our relationships together within ourselves the dynamics of our family,
That's right.
then other relationships will fall into place.
That's right. So I know we've asked you guys to send in a whole bunch of photos for the family and stuff. So a lot of you guys, I said by Thursday at 3:00. I'm going to just say amen to that.
All right.
Okay. Amen to that. But, we worked hard to get it through. So here you go.
All right. So what was that? We want to thank each and every family member
Yes.
of Nelson
Thank you.
Caver Jr. that sent the the pictures in.
Yes.
We wanted to create something. This is a little different from us, but we wanted to create something just to represent his legacy. So tonight's show is all about family and asking questions about it. So, but before we get into it, let's get some of our comments. Good evening, Vanya. How are
Hey,
you?
good evening, Vanya.
Thank you for tuning in. Hey, family.
Hey, family.
Hey.
All right.
As always, it's wonderful for you to be tuning in. Elaine
Thank
said
you.
hello.
All
Hello,
right,
Elaine.
All right. I got that picture in there. Yeah, although it came in at 4:00 today, I got it.
All right. Vicky says hello. Hello, Vicky. I
Hey.
hope it's you and Earl. We're going to get you a name to say Vicky and Earl.
All right.
All right. Hey,
Hey,
Jeff.
Jeff.
What's going on? Hey. All right, Dennis. Hey, Dennis. Happy Friday. I'm off work tonight. Glad
Hey,
you
thank
are
you for
tuning
joining
in.
us in, Dennis.
Yes, and I did notice that you had a Facebook post about family. So tonight is all about family. I'm sure you remembered we had an uncle. He passed away, and so his funeral was last Saturday. So we are doing a tribute to him. So we hope you stay on and also comment as we ask the questions regarding family. Gail said good evening.
Hey,
Hello,
good evening, Gail.
Hello, Kathy. How are you?
Kathy, how are you?
Yes, relationships matter.
Yes,
all
they
the
do.
way
All
around.
of them.
Yes, even yours and ours.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you want to join us on screen, all right, so you just type in legendaryrelationship.com/Nelson, and then you'll be queued to go backstage. And then we'll prompt you, and you'll come right on if you're camera ready.
So there's three ways to interact with us tonight. You can write in the comments, as you've seen on the screen. You can call in, and let's display the number. So you can call in and actually have a conversation with us. That is the number. It is 630-271-5437. Or you can come into the studio live with us. You'll be on camera with us.
Yep.
And you can do that through legendaryrelationship.com/Nelson. All right. So please, as we're asking these questions, our lives are for conversation purposes only. So we can't have a conversation if we're by ourselves. So let's dive right into tonight's first question as we have family members of Nelson online with us. We invited everyone from the family to join us so that we can talk about the importance of family.
And what he actually meant to the family.
Yes.
I mean, he meant a lot. I mean, we were strong in that homegoings on ceremony. So I just said, man, this is a nice time for a lot of people to be able to reflect.
Yes.
So here's one of the first questions that we have. Can you share a personal story or memory that highlights that the impact that Nelson legacy had on your life?
Let's try that again.
Yep. Trying to read without glasses.
Right.
All right. Can you share a personal story or memory that highlights the impact that Nelson's legacy had on your life?
Yes.
I can start.
Yeah. Okay,
can
let's start while so please either comment, call, or come into the studio with us. You're welcome to join us.
I would like to start with the studio first. If you could just come on camera, if you would like. One of the things that I saw, I mean, like it was the epitome of a gentleman, how to dress, how to act, how to treat a lady. This is the very, very first person I saw with that wore cufflinks. And to this day, I still wear cufflinks because of that. I didn't do the monogram shirts, but I did pick up on the cufflinks. That showed just a different style of class that I don't know. It resonated with me as a little kid, and it took me into my adulthood.
All right. So if anyone else wants to answer that question, please, make sure that you put it in. Can you share a personal story or memory that highlights the impact that Nelson's legacy had on your life? I think one of the biggest things for me is that he was well loved throughout the family.
For sure.
Right. And so I came into the family back in 87, 89, and he welcomed me. I remember when Jason and I used to go visit him in Detroit, and we were just friends and dating. Mm-hmm. And he made sure that I slept in one room and Jason slept in another because we were just friends. We were dating.
Yep.
And he always got up and fixed us breakfast.
Yep.
He took us out. We went to gamble together, right? We went to the casinos.
Well, he was gambling. We were just donating.
But
That's weird.
it did not matter where we went for any family occasion. He was always well loved,
For sure.
highly spoken of,
Yep.
and was well represented.
Yep.
Right? So
Yep.
that's what, it says something about someone when you're 50, 40, 30 years older than, the rest of your family, and everyone
Still respects you. And still
respects
loves
you and has the highest admiration for you. That says a lot.
And you know what? That's a learned behavior. And we're going to get into that later on in the show. But that's learned, right? That's learned from our ancestors.
All right. Do we have any comments? Guys, this is a conversation. Let's keep it going. Love you guys. Keep on doing what you're doing. Thank you, Kathy. We love you,
Kathy.
too.
We love you too.
Feel free. We do have some questions. Feel free to join in with your perspective with your family if you like, because they're not all geared directly towards Nelson. They're geared towards family in general.
Right.
So feel free to stay on and just let us know your thoughts around some of these questions. My question
Hey,
is,
Lorraine found us. Hey, Lorraine.
all right. So the next one is, how do you believe family relationships shape an individual's values and beliefs? So how do you believe family relationships shape an individual's values and beliefs? You want to start there? Do we have any callers? Do we have any family? This is for you guys to join in and join the conversations. Feel free to jump
ahead, Jay.
online. So we have our commentary.
From Deborah, I remember when Uncle Nelson came to Mississippi and Mama was so excited. He was always so warm and caring. He talked to the kids as well as the adults. A few years ago, we visited Uncle Nelson and he made us his legacy beef brisket.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if anybody was going to bring that up. That's funny because I think everywhere he visited, he brought that excitement. Everyone was excited when Uncle Nelson came into town. I mean, it was just
for long. Well, when he came to visit us,
he
it
didn't
wasn't
stay
for
long now. So, but when he did come,
Yes.
everybody was excited, and he made everybody feel good. There's a saying that the man never tries to be the man because he is.
He's just the man.
He's just a man.
And that's what he is. He was just the man.
He was just a man.
All right.
Tarina. Hey, Tarina, how are you?
All right. Commentary.
Uncle Nelson always had a smile on his face. He was always happy. He taught me how to enjoy your life to the fullest.
Amen.
Isn't
All
that
right.
that's for sure.
I would agree. I would agree.
Yeah.
Yes. And there was, I cannot recollect one single time that we were in his presence that I ever felt that he was unhappy.
One time. I think it was one time.
What was it?
I think when you made that Jiffy cornbread instead of the regular cornbread, I think you got a little upset.
Right. So I'm gonna tell that story real quick. So last year, when we were there, very often Uncle Nelson asked me to make some cornbread, and so he said, "I don't want that Jiffy stuff in the pantry," and so I said, "He's not gonna know the difference," and I made the cornbread. And he said, this is not...
Jiffy. This is Jiffy.
I mean, there's a distinction, right? But I tried to, cover it up and mask it and, add some little stuff.
He had it in
the
buttermilk.
whole Jiffy.
Although he put it in buttermilk, you couldn't fool him. I mean, like it tastes like sweet cake. As soon as he put that in his mouth,
he was like, I told you I didn't want no Jiffy. Right? But that's okay. But he wasn't unhappy. He just told me what he wanted.
It. Yeah.
He wanted what he wanted. And
exactly.
And he wanted what he wanted. All right. So, Loretta Scott. Hello, Loretta. Welcome to tonight's live. Yeah. He made everyone feel special. He did. He absolutely
Without
did.
even trying to make anybody feel special. He was just being himself. He just showed up with that big old smile and just made you feel good. It's just kind of amazing.
He was just a loving, warm person.
He was.
Yes.
He was.
All right. Jace, let's go into, and guys, any question that you want to answer, feel free to put it in. Feel free to let us know about your own thoughts and feelings. All right, let's go into again, this is a conversation.
Okay. All right, we got a caller coming in?
All right.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Welcome to the show. Hello. Can you hear us?
Hold on.
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Who do we have on the line here?
Oh, this is Elaine, your cousin Elaine.
Hello, Elaine.
How are you, dear?
Thanks for viewing. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for calling in.
Okay.
Hello, Elaine.
How are you?
Oh, we
You got a little feedback. All right, go ahead, Elaine.
Okay. I was just calling to say Uncle Nelson always had a kind word.
Oh, he did.
Uncle Nelson always had a kind word.
All right. For some reason, there is a feedback. So if you hear it, if you have anything else to say, just keep on talking, but you will hear the feedback. He did. He always had a kind word. That is absolutely right. Is there anything else you want to add? Okay. All right. Thank you, Elaine.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate it. Oh, that was wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, he did always have a kind word. He did not have anything bad to say. It was always something good. Always.
Always had fun with him. All right. Let's
Y'all
get,
doing all
let's
right?
get
That
to
was just y'all doing all right?
I think Jason and I traveled to Detroit. We've been to every place he lived.
I think so.
Every
yeah.
place.
Yep. Starting with Marlo. Yep. And then we moved
Sometimes we was like, he's in a different place. All
Yeah.
right. He was stayed still for a long time, but I was like, every place he was at, we were there.
That is correct. We visited everyone.
All right. Mm-hmm. You have a question?
Go ahead, Jax.
All right. We have a comment.
Rita.
Oh, hey, Rita S.
Hey, Rita made it in. All right. Hey, Rita.
All right. Annie Jones Barnes.
Go ahead.
Commentary.
I didn't read that. Bring it back for me, please.
All right. Sweet. Thank you, family, for this tribute. Annie Jones Barnes, Tacoma, Washington.
Hey, how
welcome,
are you?
Annie. Thank you for tuning in.
Welcome.
Yes. So sweet. Hello, Gloria.
Gloria.
Thank you for tuning in. And feel free to share your stories. Marshall, all right. Good evening. Good evening, Marshall. Thank you. All right. Hey. And I think she's talking to everybody. Hey, family.
Hey, family. That's right. It's coming
Hey,
quick, right?
Leo.
Yeah. Hey, family. Hey,
We
Leo.
love you too, Leo,
Yes.
and the entire family. So everyone that's on, please make sure that you let your family know that you are there, you are listening, and just say hello. Hello, Sharon. Hello, family. This is Sharon.
Hey, Sharon. How are you, dear?
Thank you for tuning in. All right, Carl.
Hey,
Hello,
what's
Carl.
going on? Hey,
Thanks
what's
for
going
tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right. So let's get on to the next question. Guys, please feel free to call in, write a comment, or you can join us in the studio. So put your cameras on and you can join us.
All right, go ahead, babe. What you got here?
It's on you.
All right. It is...
Third question.
Can you discuss the importance of preserving and documenting family history for future generations and how it can contribute to the sense of identity within family? And what part will Uncle Nelson play, seeing that he was the last of his siblings?
All right, so let's go through that again.
Yep.
It says, can you discuss the importance of preserving and documenting family history for future generations and how it contributes to the sense of identity within a family? And what part will Uncle Nelson play, seeing that he was the last of his siblings? So please, anyone, feel free to write a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are pertaining to that.
What I enjoyed, just going over there talking to him, was sitting down at the table and him telling these stories. And
Yes.
he would always tell a story about him first getting to Detroit or his travels from Mississippi to Chicago, and Aunt Ruth putting him on the bus and sending him over here by himself to Detroit. And when he tells that story, he tells it with so much conviction at 96, 97 years old that it was like he was looking out of the bus window, and he was so afraid of the unknown.
Of what was going to transpire.
He had no idea, because they had filled his head with so much stuff in Mississippi about how bad the North was and the big cities. And he was terrified, but he knew that there was a better way, and he was willing to go through that to have a better outcome in life.
Yeah, I remember that him sitting there telling that story.
Brought
and he
tears to his eyes.
Yeah, it even brought tears to his eyes as he talked about being 17 years old, having to leave his home and his family to travel up north to something he had no idea how he was going to make it, what was going to happen, if he was even going to live. I mean, he had talked about how he was just, he said he was shaking.
Yeah, he was
said when
shaking.
he got on the bus from Chicago to Detroit, he was literally shaking.
Yeah, yeah. And he was going to visit or see an aunt that he had never seen before. Aunt Millie he had never seen before. They had corresponded through letters, but he had never seen her. So it was a scary time.
Yeah, just imagine, right? So it's stuff like that you can continue to tell your grandkids and your great grandkids, right? Is the stories of the past that have shaped our future that helps us to make sure that we keep our lineage, right? So by Uncle Nelson being the last of his siblings, what are you, as a family members, how will you continue that legacy of documenting and letting, the future generations now and in the future know how you got to where you are,
Right.
the state that you live in, right?
And
or
he
why
wasn't-
you're still, if you're still in Mississippi, why you're still like the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, we were making a joke the other day, and we were talking, and we were saying that Uncle Nelson escaped death quite a few times.
Yeah,
I mean, like
yeah.
he was playing around with this thing for a minute, right? From
Uncle
a child
Nelson
on
loved to
up,
play
right?
around. So he'd love to play around with death.
I mean, like a lot of us didn't know. I mean, like when I'm sitting there at the table and he's telling me this stuff, and
These
I
stories.
should have recorded it. But you saying that he had tuberculosis twice. First time I think he stayed in there 8 months. The second time he stayed in there, I think 1 year and 6 months.
Year and a half.
And he said that everyone in the ward died
And he
except
was
for
the
him.
only one that went home.
I said, wow. So they
Yeah.
didn't expect for him to live in the first place, with that.
He talks about how he talked to us about how he was a sickly child,
Yep.
and just the whole.
He wore out about 3 pacemakers, So
he talked about incidents that happened to him throughout his life.
Yep.
That when he got stabbed, and it's just we're like, wow. And then to live to 97.
right, and he was perplexed by that. He was. His favorite line was, "I just lived too long. I just lived too long."
He would tell us how all of his friends were gone. Right,
Right.
I'm the last one. All right. So the next question is.
Hold on, you got anything over there, Jason?
All right. So let's go comments.
From Vanya, prior to Uncle Nelson's visit, all the Chicago sisters would be getting it together. Food. Also, when Uncle Nelson came to visit, he always came bearing gifts.
Always.
Yes.
Always.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, always.
Hello, Verlinda. How are you?
Hey, Linda, how
Hey,
are you?
Linda. Hey, family. Linda says hello. He touched how to manage our money. He taught us how to manage our money.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he
And he
did.
talked about that too. Yeah, commentary. Oh, all right. He was all in for his family and is a true legend.
Right.
Yes.
Like I said, the man.
He was all in. Absolutely.
Yeah, the man.
He really liked to bowl. So
Oh,
Carl,
listen.
I don't,
Let me tell you, Carl. Man,
so
listen.
Carl, no one told us that.
Right.
No one told us that he was
we
in
went
the
over there
league.
visiting, and he took us bowling. I'm like, all right, cool. I should have known something because he came out with some shoes and a ball.
Yep. He was ready to go.
Right? We went over there and kicked our butt.
He was like, you guys what do you want to do today? I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. He's like, you want to go bowling? We were like, yeah, we're young. We thinking we're going to, take advantage of some older people. Man,
Okay.
he swept the floor with us.
Sure did. And didn't feel bad
And
about it.
I think I never did a rematch because I was too scared.
I didn't go back.
Honestly,
I didn't go
was too
back
scared.
bowling
I
with
was
him
like,
again.
yeah,
Nope, I
no.
was done.
I was like, okay, we can write that down in the books.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just laughed. He just laughed and talked about, we could teach you a few things. I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I got
That's
my butt
funny.
cooked
He
on
did.
that one.
He told me to always be willing to help out, especially for the family. Yes.
Yeah.
Family.
I have to agree.
And that's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about him as a 97-year-old and the legacy of helping your family out. How many of us continue that legacy? How many of us kind of hear it and don't hear it, see it and don't see it? When family needs you or family reaches out, or sometimes we just don't even think about family. How many of us can say that his legacy is going to be our legacy in making sure that you take care of family? Right? So that is the whole purpose of this, understanding the dynamics and the importance of family relationships. Not just you as a person, but continually as a family.
Yeah.
All right.
It started with the love that he had for his parents.
Yes.
Like, again, we're sitting at the table, and he was pretty perplexed about why he had crippled parents. That really bothered him. He asked the Lord all the time, why was my parents crippled? So he put it on his shoulders to make sure that he took care of them.
And his sisters, his siblings, and his brothers, whoever. Right.
And I asked him, I said, well, where'd you get that from, man? He said, I don't know. I just felt like it was my responsibility. It was your responsibility to take care of your sisters and your parents. That's pretty big. That's a lot. That's a lot to bear, right?
And not only letting it stop there, but he gave from the heart, not out of a duty.
Right.
He never felt like it was a duty. He did it because he loved it.
Right.
Right. And that is to continue it on. Right. And that's what I mean. Like, to take something that he did and to continue that legacy on, realizing the importance of it.
That's right.
All right. Let's go to the next question. Okay. We've got another comment. Commentator?
The Skippers have a series of documented interviews with Uncle Nelson that can be found on YouTube. That was the brainchild of Mark Skipper. We talked to Uncle Nelson for about 2 hours total.
Wow.
Such great family history that has been documented.
All right.
thank you for that.
Wonderful.
Thank
yes.
you for that.
So you said it can be found on YouTube.
YouTube.
You have to put us into exactly where. What link is it on? All right. Monique says, hello, Monique. Welcome. I was so excited to take my uncle at the time he was 90 to the Bears versus Detroit when they played in Detroit. Yes.
Isn't that
wonderful.
something that was special? I know it was.
Yes.
I took him
Yes.
out to dinner some time ago, and it just felt great to be able to give back. It was something small, but just being able to be old enough and to just say, here, thank you, something that they like to do. Man, I know that felt good.
Yes. Yes. It always felt good when we did things.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing, Monique. All right. Linda says he cared about family, always had good advice. He lived a good and blessed life.
Right. It
All
wasn't
right.
too long either.
Yes. All right. Hello, Sandra.
Hey, Sandra,
Good
how
evening.
are
Thank you
you?
for joining us.
Yes.
Commentary, can you please read that?
I am loving this tribute to Uncle Nelson. I have not experienced a family history such as this. This is a priceless piece of history. It's a joy just to listen. Thank you for doing this.
You are
Oh,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
tuning
much.
in.
Yep.
And again, feel free to write any comments that you have regarding family or relationship or the importance of whatever you would like to, whatever's on your mind. We're here to talk about it.
Right.
Thank you for tuning in.
We talk about all type of relationships. We talk about relationships, basically marital relationships, but this is special. This is family. This is patriarchs. This is something really special.
All right. Commentary?
Uncle Nelson loves his family and loved to enjoy his family with no outsiders. A few years ago, he said he wanted to enjoy his family only. All I could do was laugh when he stated that.
So even in all of that, having our family, we still get a little territorial, right? Selfish. That's so sweet. Commentary?
Not sure if DeWitt the Third still has a recording.
DeWitt.
DeWitt still has a recording of Uncle Nelson and Uncle DeWitt talking about our family history. That was February of 2014.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You just never know when you're in the middle of a conversation, the impact that it's going to have on your life later.
Yeah.
Right? All right, Lorraine, thank you for joining us again. Nikki, he loved that trip to the game.
I bet he did.
He loved sports.
He was all Detroit, period.
Sports.
Win or
period.
lose.
All right, commentary.
He asked me to make him some coffee and he wanted 5 teaspoons of sugar. I said to myself, he don't need that much sugar, so I only put in 3 teaspoons. He called me and said, this is not right. I started laughing and I can't fool you. And he, oh no, you can't.
Exactly.
You can't. Hey, listen. You can't fool him with the sugar, and you definitely can't fool him with the salt
Or the cornbread.
or the cornbread.
Or the wet chicken.
Oh my goodness.
So Jason tried to
Oh, my
make some gravy.
Yep. which I've never done in
And
my
Uncle
life.
Nelson was standing right by the stove next to him, trying to instruct him on how to make it, and it looked like a big pile of
Paste.
dough.
It was pasty. He's like,
I
what
was
is
like,
wrong
Jason-
with this?
I was like, Jason, get out the way. Let Uncle Nelson and myself do it.
That was interesting.
All right. Did I read this? Oh, I don't think I did. Okay. So the next question is, are these specific lessons or values passed down through generations in your family that you find, are there specific lessons or values, either from yourself or Uncle Nelson, passed down through generations in your family that you find particularly meaningful? So are there specific lessons or values that have been passed down in your family that you find particularly meaningful?
Yeah, knowing how to cook. All my aunties knew how to cook. Yeah,
And Uncle Nelson knew
and
how to
Uncle
cook.
Nelson knew how to cook.
Yes, that's one thing I loved about him. Every time we went, we never had to worry about eating.
Right.
He would barbecue. He
Yep.
would cook dinner. He would cook lunch. He always had something on the stove.
He definitely.
Breakfast.
He's like, whenever you get up, I got up already. I already cooked breakfast for you. I'm like, okay.
He always said that.
Always.
He really did.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he was already up, super early. No
And
matter.
after we ate, we hit the road. We were in the streets. All right. So, Dennis, commentary. Thank you.
Your Uncle Nelson sounds like a great man who left a special place in your family's heart and a legacy to be cherished for generations to remember.
Yes, Dennis. Dennis, that's the reason why I'm the man that I am, right? You being able to watch an individual move through life and care for their parents and care for their siblings unapologetically, right? Just doing it because you want to do it. Anytime that Uncle Nelson was blessed with anything, any type of monetary substance or anything, he would have passed it around, right? I mean, that's just special. That never stopped. He always gave, and he was
he told us-
always blessed.
He gave us plenty of stories. He said that too. The more he gave, the more he received. He told us plenty of stories about that. But also, Dennis, the whole, these legacies that he left, cherishing them is not the only thing, but just reminding us, the generation that it is now, what are you doing to continue it? Right? Sometimes we get wrapped up in our own individuality, our own selfishness, our own ego, thinking it's about us and our immediate family, or it's just about us, period. Right? We're trying to help people to understand that a legacy means that it goes from generation to generation to generation. So to remind people that, what part are you playing? How are you going to continue your family's legacy? Even if you start right here, right now.
Right.
We can all be that great man, that great woman right now for generations to come to talk about. All right. So before we go any further, let's announce our December Superfan. So we want to thank everyone who participated in our September, October, November, and December Superfan competition.
Yes.
And for December, it was very, very hard and very, very close. Our Superfan is Cassandra Williams.
Thank you,
Cassandra.
Thank you so much.
For following us. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being a part of our family.
Yes, we appreciate it. Thank you for all the sharing and everything. We greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get this message around, and thank you so much for doing your part.
Yes. So we thank each and every participant who shared our reels, our stories, our post, our media, whatever it was. We just say thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yes.
All right. So let's go into the next question. Jason, I think it's on you. Question number 5.
All right, let's see.
You and Hick.
I'm trying to do these without glasses. Have you ever experienced a situation where a family member's legacy had a positive, transformative impact on the family as a whole? Yep.
All right. So read that one more time, please, Jay.
Have you ever experienced a situation where a family member's legacy had a positive transform? Okay, I'm gonna start over. Have you ever experienced a situation where a family member's legacy had a positive, transformative impact on the family as a whole? I say that exemplifies Uncle Nelson
Absolutely.
to a T.
Absolutely. A positive, transformative impact. Exactly.
Because you know what? It's funny. When we were kids and coming up, we didn't like act up when they came around or anything like that. We just didn't do that, especially if Uncle Nelson was around, because you were just so happy and in awe to see him. But even when we were around any other aunties or whatever, we didn't act up, right? It's just something that's just the aura of the family. That's how the Cavers were. We just didn't run around and do that kind of stuff. So,
I don't know. I just as I'm listening to you speak, it just for some reason made me think about Uncle Nelson. He always was a jokester, though. He always had something funny to say, right? He always made you laugh. Mm-hmm. You can talk about something. He always had a joke about somebody, something, or something, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
He was just always made you laugh.
And another thing
sorry, one second. Can we, commentator, can we get the number up again in case you want to call in, or in case if you want to join us on camera? That's the number to call if you want to speak to us and want to, instead of writing your comments, you can actually have a whole story to tell. That is the number. It is 630-271-5437, or you can join us in the studio at legendaryrelationship.com/Nelson.
So, our last caller, Elaine, I was speaking with her cousin, and I said, well, she's like, I don't know what I have to say. I don't have anything to say. I'll just listen. I said, well, something may strike you. You might want to say something. She says, well, I did cook him his last meal. I said, oh, wow. Man,
Right?
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, because they went over there for Christmas, right? Or just before, I think they were leaving on Christmas. Yep. And I think he wanted some chitlins, and he kept asking for them to be ready. So
See, sometimes we don't even know the little things that we do, the impact is going to have on other people's lives, right?
Yeah.
Or even our own lives. Mm-hmm. So please join in, family, as we are paying tribute to Uncle Nelson, or Nelson Caver Jr. Feel free to write any comments, any concerns, any questions, any memories, any stories. Feel free, and we will play the video again. So if you missed it, we will be playing it again as we go through the questions. Our next question is, what role... Yep, and be like Jason. Mm-hmm. What role does family traditions play in maintaining strong family bonds? And... can you share any of Uncle Nelson's that you recall and that you intend to continue? All right, so let me say that again. What role do family traditions play in maintaining strong family bonds? And can you share any of Uncle Nelson's that you recall and that you intend to continue? Come on, guys.
Yep.
It's like a lot of family members out there. I know he touched a lot of lives.
right.
Feel free to...
I can tell by the photos. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, again, thank you for the photos. And if
Lorraine.
we missed anyone, we do apologize. But, hey, I guess you didn't get it in. All right.
Lorraine
That was
put in
all
there.
on you.
Yeah, Lorraine had put in, we were right about the salt. Oh, my goodness. The salt.
Yes. It was so funny because one night, Uncle Nelson was a true chef. Yes, he was.
I think he just cooked everything,
Yes,
right?
he was. Supporting family is key. He always showed up. He
Yep.
did. Showed
Yep.
up and showed out.
All the time.
All right. Commentary?
Uncle was definitely a supporter. He was there at our 25th year vow renewal in Texas, which was so special.
Yeah.
Oh, so wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he made it his business to be at places,
That
right?
was so
that had
nice.
anything to do with family.
All right. Loretta says, being a person of your word.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, he was. He was a person of his word. Okay, I think I could get this one. I remember he called me on the phone when my husband passed. He encouraged me a lot.
And that's what he does. That's what he does. That's what he does.
And always. All right, commentary. Can you read that for us, please?
Absolutely. Hard work, caring spirit, generous, being family oriented were all the traits that were passed down by the Cavers.
Yep.
All right. Amen. All right. Vanya says, Uncle Nelson loved hard. We should too. Definitely. Definitely.
We should.
Hello, Danny.
Hey,
Thank
Danny
you for
Earl.
joining us.
Yep.
Hello, Danny Earl. All right. Gloria said, commentary, can you get that for us? Please. Thank
It
you.
was amazing to be there with family at the celebration of life of my great Uncle Nelson. It was so cool to know that we have a legacy of teachers with my son doing his student teaching.
All right. Wonderful.
Wow.
Wonderful. being able to bring everyone together. Sometimes people leave us and no one's there.
Yep.
That's a true testament to the type of person that he was, with the people that showed up for his homegoing, right? His homegoing celebration. All right, the next one is Tarina.
I'm a caregiver today because of how I saw and watched my family love and take care of each other throughout my childhood and even now.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. That's
Yeah.
exactly my point.
You know, it brings me back to something too, Tarina, when you said that.
So Lorraine says he made you laugh until the end. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I remember when Maddie got sick and went to the hospital for the last time, and she turned around like she knew that she wasn't coming back anymore. She said, "You guys make sure y'all take care of Elmo." Right, which was her husband. I just like, wow, just always to the end. We just still caring, right? We just would not stop. So it was always bigger than us as cavers. It's always bigger than us.
Yes. Uncle Nelson did love hard.
Yeah,
All right.
for
Any
sure.
other commentaries? Any other callers? Make sure you call in and leave and let us know your thoughts. The next question is I'm thinking.
No, go ahead.
I think it
Go
was
ahead.
you, baby.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Go
Okay.
ahead. Got something from Earl.
This is Earl. All right. Commentary. Are you able to get it?
We visited Uncle Nelson a couple years ago. We sat for several hours and listened as he told us how he didn't want to pick cotton, so he left Mississippi and came to Detroit. He cooked that brisket for us, and it was good. Later, he told me to go downstairs with him, and we watched football for several hours. He was not my biological uncle, but he made me feel like I was.
All right. Exactly.
Yeah, you can attest to that, right?
Yep, I can. He was
Yeah.
my uncle. Ain't such thing.
Yeah. Yeah, he just once you were in the family, you were in the family.
Not only was he my uncle, he was my sister's uncle too, right? Because they
Yeah.
always said Uncle Nelson. You going to Uncle Nelson, right? And so we, just talking about him. All right, so hey, Danny Earl, I remember when Uncle Nelson got his Mark V, his mother and I flew to Detroit, and he let me drive it. I thought I was in heaven. All right. Exactly.
We got a call coming in. Hold on
All
one
right,
second,
we have
caller.
a call.
I want to say one thing. That's Danny. Danny, that's when I found out that they had sunroofs in cars. When I saw that thing and he had the sunroof in it, from that point on, it was cufflinks in the sunroof that I had to get when I got old. So I remember that thing.
Right.
Older, yes.
All right. Let's hear our caller.
Hello.
Good evening, family.
Good evening.
Good
and
evening.
who is this?
I'm sorry, this is Tootie, everyone. Oh, you guys, I don't know if you call me Vanya, Tootie, whichever. It doesn't matter.
You Tootie.
AKA
Okay.
Vanya on
well,
the
this
screen.
is Tootie. Hey, family. I just wanted to say that one of the things that I love about Uncle Nelson is not just how hard he loved, but how hard he showed it. I made the comment before about how he always showed up. And the other thing about Uncle Nelson that was great was it didn't matter what your personality was. And y'all know my daddy had a bunch of personalities. That's another story.
You get off my
But
man.
anyway, yes, one thing that was great was that he loved hard. And, he loved his family so hard that even in death, before when he would come and support, you saw it all over his face. So, I'm going to miss talking to him about the sports piece. One of the things you guys asked about was, what's something that we're going to keep going. I don't know which family members love sports, but I'm going to make sure I find out and get in touch with them and say, hey, just reminding you, we got to talk about this sport thing, if nothing else, because that's what Uncle Nelson loved to do. I love you guys.
Wait, Tootie, you got to go back. So I remember I think you missed something. So for those of you who don't know, Tootie's dad and Uncle Nelson, so Tootie, you tell the story. So because you missed that part. So tell your dad's name so they know.
Okay, so my daddy was, I don't know what y'all called him. His name was James. Most of you all called him Calvin or Zig, one of the two. But my dad and Uncle Nelson would literally be on the phone watching football together. Whenever the Bears and the Lions played, they would actually watch the game together. I'm like, Daddy, you've been on the phone for how long doing what? And so they would watch the game together. He'd be in Detroit. My daddy would be in Chicago. but they made sure that they kept that connection. And even after my dad passed, I would always call Uncle Nelson, even when it was the basketball, when the Pistons and the Bulls played, I would always call him to try to, keep that connection going. And, there were some times where, yes, he would answer the phone, and when he didn't, I would call Lorraine, and Lorraine would be like, girl, you better call the house phone. He'll pick that up. But anyway.
Because he couldn't keep up with that cell phone.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
And
Wonderful.
just to bring it full
I love
circle.
you guys.
We love you too.
That was Nikki, which is Vanya's sister, that took Uncle Nelson to the Bears and
Right.
Bears and whoever it was.
Lions. Right.
I think it was the Bears and the Lions game. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the
yeah.
Bears and the Lions. Nikki, my sister Monique, which we call her Nikki, and her husband Clyde, they took him. And the funny thing, I don't know if my sister will dial in, but she said, girl, I was tired. And Uncle Nelson was beating us up them steps. He was moving out. And I was like, oh, my God.
Yes.
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 tired.
Yes. All right.
He was strong.
To the
So
to
thank
the
you,
end.
guys.
Thank you, Tootie.
Thank
Yes.
you.
All right.
All right. God bless.
God bless.
I'm going to tell this story. Well, I think Uncle Nelson was 97, I believe. Okay, about 96 or 97. I can't tell. Right. So he was taking some medication that was making him go to the bathroom a lot. Right. And this is one of the times we were there, and he was going to the bathroom every few minutes. Go ahead. I see we got a call coming in. I'll finish my story on the other side.
All right. So, hello, caller. You are on with Jason and Tina Marie.
Hello, this is Wayne.
Hello,
Hey, Wayne, what's going on, man?
What's going on? This is so wonderful. I've been trying to get on for a minute now, but when you typed up the number, I said I got to say, Uncle Nelson taught me a lot, and it's about family all the time, and he taught me how to, and he always told me, he said, always be willing to help out.
There you
and
go.
Always, especially family.
Yep.
And that is the part of the legacy I would continue to, to live on with him.
All right, we're going to hold you up to that.
And,
you put it out there. We're going to hold you up to it.
I mean, it's in my nature, so that's no problem. You know what I'm saying? He's already planted me there. And one thing I wanted to share with you guys, I went up to Uncle Nelson and Lorraine came and got me from Chicago and took me up to Detroit with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first night, I got into my pajamas and I came upstairs and I went into his room. We had the same pair of pajamas on. No kidding. Wait a minute. Then the next morning I got up and, I got dressed, we took a shower and stuff. I came upstairs. We had the same shirt and hat on.
Well, there you go. All right. Shows the legacy, right?
So, yeah. So that always has amazed me how the likeness of him and I got from him and not even knowing it, and I always remember that, and not only that, the bed that he has right now we're sleeping in, I have one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hey, you know what's funny, Wayne? Every time Wayne posts a picture, he's just standing there. I say, that's my cool cousin right there. All the time.
I love my family, boy. We really sent him off real well, and may we continue to come together, and just live his legacy, and keep this cable family together, and work together, and you just look out for each other. That is the key to our success, as a family.
All right. Thank
That's
you,
it.
Wayne. We got to take the next caller.
Okay, I love you guys.
Love you.
Too.
All right. Mm-hmm. All right.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Whoever was calling, you can now come on in again. We do apologize. So go ahead and try the line now so that we can speak with you and hear your thoughts. All right. We're going to leave these next few minutes open so that you guys can get in your comments or your calls. All right. Caller?
Oh, you could just jump in the
Caller?
video and there we go.
All right.
Hello, who do we have?
Yeah.
Yep. Who do we have?
Wait.
Hold on 1 second.
Oh, we
Hold on
experienced some
1
technical
second.
difficulty.
Yeah, we can, but
Deborah,
hold on
for
1
some
second.
reason it's not going through.
Can you call back in a second?
Okay, Deborah, can you call back? For some reason it's not going through our mics. So call right back.
Okay, I think I need to turn this one off
Yeah.
because I got this thing going.
All right, just turn the whole thing off. All right, let's see. Sometimes you just got to go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Deborah, call back in. Hopefully it'll work this time.
Is it hooked up on the one? It's not connecting.
All right, so for
Put
some
the mic over there.
Yeah, put her up to your mic.
Let's see if we can get this to work. We go.
Yeah, so can you hear us, Deborah?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna try to fix it. All right, let's hear what you're saying.
Okay, I hear you, but I can't hear it on the screen. So
Jason, is it
Okay, hold
turned
on
down?
1 second. Did you turn down the? Make sure you turn down the phone and turn up your mic. All right, try it again.
okay, I'm there.
Okay, now there we go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
I don't think they can hear me yet.
Yeah, they
Deborah,
can.
Deborah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Can
Okay, I'm
can
here,
the
but you
audience?
can't try it again. So, hello.
Yep, we can hear you.
All right.
You want her to try it again?
Say that Uncle Nelson. Okay, Uncle Nelson and my brother Leroy. Okay, my brother and my brother probably ended up in Detroit because of Uncle Nelson,
Okay.
and they just had such a close relationship. And he considered my brother, who was his nephew, more like a son.
Yep.
And my brother Leroy, and he considered Mark and Lisa more like his grandchildren because he never had grands.
Yep.
And so my nephew Mark would call Uncle Nelson Uncle Grandpa.
How sweet. That's so sweet. So I hope that the audience can hear you. So we're going to try to get that fixed before the next caller gets in. All right, that's so sweet. Thank you for sharing, Deborah. Was there any?
Really missed.
Oh, you know what? He is, isn't he?
All right.
Yeah, he is truly missed for sure.
Yes, he will be.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, but we got a legacy, right? We got something that we have to.
we have the memories.
for sure, something to live on, and we got a lot. These are big shoes to fill.
Yes. Do you want to try to see what's going on with that?
I can.
All right, so guys, this is your last opportunity to write in the comments any last wishes for Uncle Nelson, anything that you want the world to know about Uncle Nelson from your perspective, your experience. All right, so we are going to try to fix the call in.
Yep.
For some reason, it's lost its connection. We're going to try it. But if you want to call in and say your last remarks, please feel free. Commentator, can we please have the number go across the screen again? So again, the number is 630-271-5437. All right?
Can you give us 1 second? Let us fix this, and then you can call right back in. This Lorraine?
All right. So someone did call. I think it was Lorraine. For some reason, it is not connecting to how it was before. So, all right. So you can write the comments, though. I can see the comments. Is there anyone who is willing to come on camera with us? You can go to legendaryrelationship.com/Nelson, and then we can see your beautiful face, and then you can tell your story. All right. All right. All right. This is kind of like a dead silence. All right, guys, I need some commentaries to read. So as Jason is doing what he does best, all right, that's Vanya, a.k.a. Tootie, who was on the phone. Blessings, family. We are Caver strong. Yes. All right. So while we're waiting, I know one of our podcasts last year in the month of May, well, actually, it was June. It was after Uncle Nelson's birthday. We had a podcast that said Family Matters, right? Or Taking Care of Family. So if you missed that one, feel free to go look that one up. It was in June. Jason and I, we were talking about when we had just left Uncle Nelson, and on, I think, Monday or Wednesday or something like that, Monday or Tuesday, we had just left him. And by the time we got home, we had a conference on Wednesday. He had called us by Thursday. Friday, we were on the phone with him, and then we were back in Detroit. We left the conference and went straight to Detroit. And just the dynamics of that whole thing, the funniness. Uncle Nelson was in the hospital at that time. And the hospital wanted to send him to rehab until Lorraine came home. And he didn't want to go. And so he told them that I have a nephew, he's going to come and get me. And so beknownst to Jason, the hospital calls and say, your uncle said you're coming to get him. So we ended up getting to the hospital at 11:30 at night. And the whole hospital staff was so confused. They was like, we've never had a patient leave at 11:30 at night. I was like, there's a first time for everything. Always a different situation, but it was so funny. All right, Cornelius, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the show. For the record, commentary, are you able to read that? Okay, for the record, Nelson's parents were remarkably independent and self-sufficient. Yes, they successfully raised 10 children and did not depend on anyone for subsistence. Is that it? Uh-huh. What's the after that? I was very proud of them. You guys have to excuse me. I have something in my way. So I was very proud of them. Yes, and he was proud of them too. His thing was that he just had stories about it. So they were very self-sufficient, very independent, and he just loved them to death. And I think that is the legacy. Understanding, and Jason and I were talking about the reason why Uncle Nelson was so loved, right? Despite all of the greatness that he was, also I think what had a big impact on it was the way he and his sisters and brothers, as well as his parents, the way they interacted and loved each other. And that continued on. The relationship that we have with our siblings has an effect on our children. So when we have maybe biases or issues with siblings, that sometimes will trickle down into our family dynamics. So we were talking about how he not only loved his sisters, but his sisters loved him back. And that was displayed and shared and expressed to their family. So not only was he a great man, but his greatness he shared with his siblings, and they shared it with him, and that continued the legacy. He was well respected. He was well loved. He was highly talked about and regarded. And I think that really makes a difference in how your family will view you. We have to be careful, in the society that we have today where, we're not valuing the importance of loving and honoring and respecting the people who we share family blood with, right? Who we share as a family, period. All right, so we have another caller. Let's hope. Nope, it's still not working?
Nope, still not working.
All right, so why don't we could just take it and put it on our mics.
Yeah.
All right, so call back in. Can we have something to put it over here?
He's just trying. He's still working with it.
All right. So I think that was Lorraine who called in. If you can recall, or Lorraine, you have Jason's cell number.
Or
so if you want,
no, don't call the cell number because I can't hear. But
okay.
You can go to legendaryrelationship.com/Nelson and then just come into the studio. You don't have to have your camera. You don't have to come on with your camera. You could you can keep your camera off and your thing and just talk. Yep.
All right, guys, we are going to be winding down this show. So let's get our last callers in and just be mindful of.
Oh, yeah. Let's go back to what you were saying.
Regina. Hello, Regina. Thank you for tuning in.
Hey, Regina. How are you?
Oh, so I know. Let me go back. Regina, there is nothing like family. Amen. Whether it's blood, whether it's church, whether it's, right, we have church family, we have work family, we have family is the key. I think that's a big thing. We have to understand the importance of family. And this is our first show of the year because we missed last Friday.
Yep.
So we just want to say Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year. Happy New You. Happy New Life.
Yes.
All right. So God has given us another opportunity to go forward and, hey, whatever we didn't accomplish last year,
We'll do it this year.
that's right.
Right. We're definitely going to do it this year.
Let's get it right this time.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to, I want to piggyback off of what you said.
All right, Cornelius Nelson always lit up the room that he entered. Everyone, both children and adults, were uplifted by his positive demeanor. He was an uplifter and brought joy to all who were around him.
For sure.
Absolutely.
You know what? And you know, with that, it's interesting that, they say that. That's true. He did. But I got excited when Aunt Bay and Aunt Goya used to come and visit. Whenever any one of them came to
Him
visit
and his
us.
siblings.
Right. I just got super excited, but but Aunt Bay and Aunt Goy came as a group, as a team, right? When they came up to Chicago,
it was the connection, the family dynamics that
Exactly.
they shared, right? So if the siblings weren't excited, you would have been excited.
Exactly.
So that's how we have to remember.
And
as
that's
a
what I want to
legacy,
get to.
Yeah.
The reason why, now I'm a great nephew, right? The reason why I'm excited and so connected is because of how my grandmother, my mother interacted and how they felt. So this is a learned behavior. This is something that was filtered down. That's why I have the love and admiration for my ancestors, right? What they shown and how they interacted. That's why. So I love because I was taught how to love.
All right. So, director over there, we are going to close it out with the video. So this is the video of the Caver family with the honorary Nelson. Gloria says, yes, my dad Dewood says that they loved each other and took care of each other. And it showed. He didn't even have to say it. Thank you for this. Y'all are amazing.
We all are. We all are. Thank you so
family.
much. Thank you,
Lavanya, hey,
family.
Lavanya,
Hey,
thank you
Lavanya.
for tuning in.
Yes.
Is in the house. So
Thank
Lavanya,
you.
are you here in Illinois? Are you out in Cancun somewhere? Cleo,
Oh,
thank you, Cleo, for tuning in.
Church
Cleo's
family,
watching.
thank
Hey,
you so
y'all.
much.
Thank you, Monique. Yes, Jason, I was so excited when the aunties came because we knew we were eating good.
Okay.
Yes, and that's what I said. I think it's important. Your opinion or perspective of your family members, despite what you may like or dislike about them, despite their choices, right? Judge not.
Right.
Judge not. And I think the key is just to love unconditional. I love you, whatever. I love you just because you are who you are. So that last comment I didn't get to give. Can you put it back up there for us, please, commentator? Vanya, yes, your mama and my daddy were thick as thieves. Yes.
Yes, they
so that
were.
would be Jason's dad,
Yeah.
Jason's mom and her dad.
Yes, they were.
Regina, hello, Regina.
Hey,
Thank you
Regina.
for tuning in. We had a blast for Uncle Nelson's 90th birthday party in Peoria. He danced with his family. My son asked him what he did to look and stay sharp. Okay. He told him Miller Highlight. So all these young folks drinking his drink for long life. I love my uncle and will continue to love and support my cousin Lorraine.
For
All right.
sure,
I
yes.
hope, Regina, you're supporting all your cousins,
Right.
including Lorraine. All right, which I'm sure that's what you meant, right? Supporting all my cousins. Thank you. Yes, every time we went, Uncle Nelson always had a cooler full of beer.
Always.
Always. Uncle Nelson, where's the pop? Oh, it might be some over sitting on the side over there. It's hot.
But the beer was
But
cold.
the beer was cold. All right, so let's end this broadcast.
It's another thing that he used to say when we used to try to get on him about
Drinking the beer.
not
the
drinking
salt, and
the salt and the sugar and all this other stuff. And he's like, well, this, that, and the other, it's bad for you to kill. You said, well, look at, he said,
Everybody who told me that is gone.
and you couldn't argue with him on this. Like, okay, You know.
It's like people who told me beer and salt was going to kill me, they're gone and I'm still living. So obviously it's a good combination. I'm like, you're right. If what you're doing is working, don't switch it up for anybody.
Yeah.
All right. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Please
you can
do.
always
Yes.
leave us a comment. You can DM us. Thank you for joining us. Please remember to subscribe to our channel. We come on every Friday live if you want to ever join the conversation on relationships.
Yeah.
Our specialty is marriage relationships, but we talk about all
Family
dynamics
and
because it's all
dynamic.
important.
For all the relationships that
All
you're
the
in.
relationships you could possibly have.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, Jace? All right. Let's cue up the video.
All right, guys. Thank
We
you
love
so much. We love you. We enjoyed it. Thank you so much for everything.
Thanks for tuning in. And thank you, Uncle Nelson, for always loving and loving hard.
Right.
We love you back.
Yep, and we'll continue the legacy
Yes.
starting now.
God bless.
And that's with love from all your nieces and nephews, greats,
And greats.
and greats, right? You live so long, you got some great nieces and nephews. We appreciate you. We're going to do the best we can to continue. But everything we have is instilled in us. So we just going to be who we going to be, and that's the Cavers, right?
We're going to be the man because he taught us to be the man.
That's for sure.
And all we can be is the man.
Yep.
As Wayne said, right?
And I think I'm good at being the man.
All right.
Right. Yeah. I think I wear it well. Yeah. So we appreciate you, family. We love you. Till next week, as always,
We're in it to win it.
Till next week, guys. We love you.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Lovin' Beyond the I Do podcast. Head over to iTunes to subscribe and leave a review. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Legendary Relationship, or visit our website at legendaryrelationship.com. Till next time, remember to make every day count.